back to my channel and welcome back to a new kind of video. I wanted to talk more in detail about my running and my swimming, so I thought I would do a kind of fitness routine video, and I thought now would be the best time to film it because it's January and a lot of people like to start that diet trend and what have you. I don't believe in diets, but a lot of people do. So yeah, a little disclaimer before I get into it. Whatever I say in this video, as in however much exercise I do, I don't want anyone watching this feeling bad because they don't do as much exercise or not taking things into consideration like my diet, my height, you know, the scientifics of it. I remember when I used to watch these videos before I used to exercise, they used to make me feel really bad. So a little disclaimer, if you're sensitive to that kind of thing, then this probably isn't the video for you. Please, please, please click out. I would hate to make you feel bad about your own self-esteem and your own body. Secondly, I don't want anyone to comment down below, or I don't want anyone to think I'm bragging about my fitness levels. I'm not. It took me a long time to get the fitness levels I've got now. I didn't just wake up one morning with those fitness levels. I worked really hard at them, and I want you to know that. So yeah, I feel now that I've said that I should maybe give like a brief introduction of how I actually got into fitness. So obviously when I lost my eyesight, I was looking for something new to do. We had a treadmill in the house, and I remember when I started running, I could hardly even run a mile without being a red hot panting mess on the floor. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, I can run more than a mile now, but I started running, it was 2000, when was it, August? No, it wasn't. Maybe August or September or July. No, I think it was July 2017. So I've been running for more than a year now, obviously. And I only done my first half marathon in September there. So it's not as if I've just started. I have been running for a while. I started running because I just wanted to tone up a little bit. I will say now, I'm not going to go into too much detail, I might have toned up just a bit too much. Please, if you want to start exercising, please take into consideration the amount of exercise you do and the amount of food you eat, because they have to be balanced out. So it's another disclaimer, don't run and run and run and run and run and then not eat enough to sustain a healthy weight. It's not good. So yeah, I love running. I do it pretty much 6 times a week. I will wholeheartedly say I'm probably a little bit unhealthily addicted to running. But I love it. Even when I don't get to run, I feel sad about it. I just love doing it. And it did start off as I just wanted to tone up a bit, but now I do it because I just love it. It's a hobby. I thrive when I do it. It makes me feel great. I do it every morning. Well, I say morning. I sometimes start at 11 o'clock. And so it depends. If my day's busy, obviously my schedule can be a bit different. So if I have something on, I might end up starting running at 8:30, but usually if my day's wide open, I'll end up starting running at, 10 o'clock if I'm feeling really motivated, or most of the time it's 11 o'clock because I'm lazy. I tend to do, on average, about 6.5 miles to 7 miles every day. Now, it's not 6.5 miles non-stop. I do get really bored. I might run for 2.5 miles and then go down the stairs, get a drink, talk to my dogs, and then go back up and do another 2.5 miles. When I go outside running with my dad, it is like start to finish, obviously. He's not about that stop and starting life. I stop and start probably because I get really thirsty and I don't come prepared, I don't have a drink. So I am looking into getting the gels that you're supposed to drink, the sugary glucose gels to keep me going, especially when I'm going to be out running with my dad again. We haven't been outside running in a while. You've probably seen me going outside running in my Aviemore vlogs. My mum filmed a bit of it. But since me and my dad done the half marathon in September, we haven't actually been outside running since. My dad wanted to get his fitness levels back up. So we'll probably be starting again in February, because we are doing the Edinburgh Half Marathon, which is the end of May. So I'm really looking forward to that. I've never done the Edinburgh one, and apparently the Edinburgh Half Marathon is even bigger than the Glasgow, and the Glasgow one, the atmosphere was just fantastic. So yeah, every morning I usually have one rest day. Sometimes I have 2 rest days. Again, it depends on how busy I am this week. So today, I'm actually filming this on Saturday, but the clip you've seen at the start will actually be future me. That would be me running Sunday morning. Sometimes I do more than 7 miles. Because I can't actually see the treadmill, I don't have a dead sure time of what distance I've done. And what I do is when I'm running, I listen to YouTube videos. So I tend to pick YouTube videos which are they're about 15 to 25 minutes depending on what distance I want to go. If the video is like shorter than 10 minutes, I tend to avoid them, or if the video is longer than 45 minutes, I tend to avoid them. And that's kind of how I work out how long I've been running. But I'm running about 10-minute miles just now. I do want to improve my speeds considerably. When I ran in the Glasgow Half Marathon, long story cut short, my dad put us in the wrong wave and it affected our time really bad. So I wanted to run the half marathon in 2 hours 10 and we ended up doing it in 2 hours 17, which I was not a happy bunny about. So for the Edinburgh Half Marathon, my goal is I want to get under 2 hours 10. See if that means I even get 2 hours 9, I don't care. My ultimate goal is to get under 2 hours 10. I'm really, really wanting to get that, and if I don't get it, I'll be so mad. Sunday tends to be a bit different for running. I always run on Sunday, again, unless something's on, but I also do swimming on a Sunday, so I tend to not I used to have this rule where I would not do any more than 7 miles on Sunday, because when I was training for the half marathon, I would up my speed. Up my distance, so I might do 2 days out of the week where I would run 10 miles, but Sunday would always be my Sunday stroll, so I would do 6 miles or 6.5 miles. Recently though, because I haven't been doing 10 miles, most of the time I've been doing 7 miles every day. The closer I get to my half marathon, obviously, that my distances, my 2-day distances will go up and then the rest will come down, if that makes any sense. So I'll do 3 days of maybe 6.5 miles and then 2 days of maybe 10.5 miles, and that'll balance it all out. The other workout thing I do is swimming, which is on a Sunday. I've only been swimming, it will be a year in February since I started swimming, so I'm still pretty much a novice at that. I think my running's really helping with my stamina at swimming. There's a woman I share a lane with and she gets more tired than me, and I think that's mostly to do with the fact I am just generally fitter. Again, I'm not bragging, it's just, it might have nothing to do with that, because swimming is a very different sport from running. When I first started swimming, I was quite arrogant. I thought, I run like 6 miles every day, this will be easy. But I done like half a length up the pool and I was exhausted. Because, swimming, you're using every single muscle in your body, whereas with running, you're just using your legs. So yes, my legs they're muscular, they're sturdy as, but my arms are like, there's pretty much nothing really going on. I mean, I've seen noodles that are thicker than my arms. So that is my goal. I want to try and get my arms a bit more toned and my upper half a bit more toned, because right now I'm pretty much skeletal. Like, if you was to just see me from the legs up, you'd probably think, yeah, quite fit, muscular, normal body. And then if you was to see me from, you know, the waist up, you'd be like, oh, that girl needs to get a bit more toned because she's like a skeleton. So yeah, that is my goal. I really enjoy swimming. My favourite stroke will always be breaststroke. I've spoken to a lot of other swimmers and their favourite is front crawl or freestyle. I used to hate it. Mainly because when I put my arms out, I can't swim in a straight line, and when I put my arms out, I end up either hitting my arm off the wall or hitting my arm off the anti-turbulence rope, and I frequently have bruises right at my elbow because of it. I know you're probably thinking, shouldn't you have a spotter that tells you when you get too close to the wall? I do for the wall part, but when I'm too close to the rope, they can't get over to me. And I get really confused because when they shout me to stop, I completely stop swimming, and we've kind of discovered that them shouting me kind of puts me off more. I'd rather hit the rope myself and find out I'm too close to it and then readjust myself. Because if I don't hit it and they tell me to move over to the left a bit, I overcompensate and I end up just being like a ball and hitting one side and then the other side and then the other, and it's aggravating. They only do it at competitions, and even then sometimes I have problems. So it's still a work in progress. It is still a work in progress. I haven't done tumble turns or anything like that yet, and I haven't started the butterfly either. But a lot of people said not to want to be keen to start it because it's really hard. And I can understand, because I have done butterfly kick, which is legs only, and it's quite exhausting. But I do love swimming, and I'm getting better with the front crawl. I'm getting faster with it. And I have my regionals on the 9th of February, which I'm really looking forward to. I'll be swimming in the same pool as the big Olympians do, so that's a big deal for me. So swimming and running is really the only sport I have just now. I am hopefully looking into this year starting pole. I know you're sitting there thinking, what's pole? Pole dancing, but not stripper pole dancing before you go, ooh! No. Pole is the exercise where you, I don't want to say dance up and down a pole because that does sound sexual. You know what I mean? It's when you do the exercises on the pole. I've always wanted to do it, even before I lost my eyes. I've always wanted to do it. I think it's really, really pretty when it's done well, and it's a great form of exercise, and that's exactly what I'm looking for, because like I said, I'm looking to get my arms toned. I'm looking to get my core toned, and pole would be the best sport. And I have, well, it's not sport, exercise. I have been told by a few people who have done it and a few people who have not done it that it's very, very hard. But I'm hoping with all the running I do and the swimming I do that I might, you know, have a head start. Like I said, like I learned from the swimming, I'm not going to jump in that pool and think, oh, I swim and run, this is going to be easy. Because it's not. Every exercise is different. You use different muscles. So just because you can run a mile in 4 minutes does not necessarily mean you can swim 100 meters in, 10 seconds. It doesn't mean anything. Everything's new. Hoping to start that in March, but I don't know yet. I've got a lot of other things, not sports wise, just life wise. I've got a lot of other things, but definitely going to be doing that in the very near future, and I'm really excited. So that's kind of like my fitness routine. I do love my sport. There used to be a time when I would much rather sit on the couch and do nothing. I still, like when I'm not doing my sport, I love sitting in the bath and doing nothing, or sitting doing nothing. But I love my sport too, so that's all I've got planned this year. I don't think there's any other sport I'm interested in right now. I used to do horse riding, but that was a long time ago. I'll keep you updated if I get my diet sorted and I get more into my gels and whatnot, I can maybe recommend what gels I like. But until then, remember when you're exercising, stay hydrated. I'll talk to you in another video. Bye guys!